Have you ever wondered about the final moments of Saddam Hussein's life? The brutal execution of the former Iraqi dictator shook the world and remains a highly controversial event. But what happened in the moments leading up to his execution? Did he show any remorse? In this video, we will delve into the details of Saddam's final hours and explore the controversy surrounding his execution. Get ready to uncover the shocking truth about one of the most notorious figures in recent history. Saddam Hussein was the fifth president of Iraq, ruling from 1979 until 2003. During his tenure, he had already been the de facto ruler of the country and was known for suppressing various movements. His government was repressive, marked by numerous human rights violations and an estimated 250,000 executions and killings. In addition, he ordered the bloody invasions of Iran and Kuwait. In 2003, the United States and its allies invaded Iraq to overthrow Saddam. The justification for the war was the accusation that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction, a claim that remains controversial to this day. Saddam was eventually captured on December 13, 2003, after he had disappeared from public view. He was designated as high-value target number 1 and was dragged out of a tunnel system. Task Force 121 conducted 12 unsuccessful raids between July and December 2003 to find Saddam Hussein, and 600 operations were carried out against other targets. On December 1, 2003, a former driver of Saddam's mentioned Mohammed Ibrahim Omar al-Muslih, Saddam's right-hand man who was known as a Fat Man. Over the next 2 weeks, 40 members of his family were interrogated to determine his whereabouts. On the 12th of December, Omar was captured during a raid on a house in Baghdad. Omar then revealed the whereabouts of Saddam, which led to the discovery of his remote farm located south of Tikrit. The mission to capture Saddam, called Operation Red Dawn, involved approximately 600 soldiers, including cavalry and artillery. Wolverine 1 and Wolverine 2 were two sites that were investigated, but initially Saddam could not be found. During the investigation, one soldier kicked a piece of flooring to the side and uncovered a spider hole with a small hole in the ground. The soldier was ready to throw a grenade inside in case it led to a tunnel system containing hostile forces when Saddam appeared. The soldier struck him with the butt of his M4 carbine and disarmed him with his Glock pistol. Saddam did not resist and surrendered. He was taken to the mission support site and then to Baghdad, where he was held encrusted at the airport with his pistol and roughly $750,000. Saddam was subsequently placed on trial, with his first hearing occurring on July 1, 2004. During the trial, Saddam referred to the proceedings as theater and claimed that the real criminal is Bush. He also defended Iraq's 1990 invasion of Kuwait, referring to the people as dogs who were trying to reduce the women of Iraq to nothing. Saddam's language during the trial was crude and unapologetic. Saddam Hussein faced numerous charges and was accused of killing 148 Shiites from Dujail following a failed assassination attempt. During his trial, Saddam refused to recognize the legitimacy of the court and claimed he was still the president of Iraq. He showed defiance against the authority of the courtroom by telling them to go to hell, and even refused to enter the courtroom. Saddam also complained about his imprisonment and accused his American captors of torturing him. On November 5, 2006, Saddam was sentenced to death by hanging for the killing of 148 Shiites. He screamed, "Long live the people! Long live the Arab nation! Down with the spies! God is great!" when the verdict was announced. It was expected that appeals would go on for years, but on December 26, 2006, Saddam's appeal was rejected and the death sentence was upheld. No further appeals were permitted, and Saddam was ordered to be executed within 30 days of that date. The decision had to be approved by the Iraqi president and could not be commuted. Saddam requested to be executed by firing squad instead of hanging, claiming it was lawful as a military execution and that he wanted to be shot as a soldier and as the commander-in-chief of the Iraqi military. However, this request was denied. 2 days prior to his execution, a letter was released in which Saddam Hussein called for unity among the Iraqi people, urging them not to hate the citizens of the countries that had invaded Iraq, but rather to hold accountable those at the top who had ordered and made decisions for the invasions. He professed his readiness to die as a martyr. In his final hours, he enjoyed a final meal of chicken and rice, accompanied by a cup of hot water with honey. The execution was scheduled to occur at 6 a.m. local time at the joint Iraqi-American military base of Camp Justice in Kazaman, Baghdad. It was ensured that he would be executed alone, away from the sight of his co-defendants. The Americans had reportedly attempted to delay the execution by 15 days, but eventually agreed to carry it out when the Prime Minister's office provided all the necessary documents after being insistent on the matter. It was said that the U.S. had no direct involvement in Saddam's execution, as he had been handed over to the Iraqi government. The execution was a matter of finalizing details. Before his execution, there were reports that Saddam Hussein was submissive and carrying the Quran. However, a witness disputed this, stating that Saddam shouted, "Down with the invaders," as he entered the chamber. When asked if he had any fear or remorse, he replied that he was a militant and had spent his life fighting aggression in jihad. He remained defiant even as the noose was placed around his neck, shouting, "Do consider this bravery." After a version of an Islamic prayer was recited, one witness told Saddam to go to hell, to which he replied, "The hell there is Iraq." Another marshal accused Saddam of destroying them and making them live in destitution, to which Saddam replied that he had saved them from destitution and misery and had destroyed their enemies, the Persians and Americans. The deputy prosecutor attempted to bring calm to the proceedings, reminding everyone that a man was facing execution. As the deputy prosecutor recited the Shahada twice, the trapdoor suddenly opened and Saddam was left hanging. His neck was broken and he was declared dead by the doctor at 6:03 a.m. after hanging for several minutes. After Saddam Hussein's death, there were rumors that his corpse had been stabbed multiple times, but these claims were disputed by some witnesses. His body was ultimately buried in his birthplace near his family members and the bodies of his two sons. However, on December 31, 2006, the tomb in which his body was buried was destroyed, and there were reports that a Sunni tribal group had removed his body prior to the destruction. Saddam Hussein's death sentence was met with criticism, as some argued it was unjust, while others considered him a martyr. Although there were also concerns about the fairness of his trial. Hussein's reign as the leader of a repressive regime in Iraq resulted in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. The invasion of Iraq, which led to his eventual capture, is still a topic of debate due to the significant loss of innocent lives. Despite Hussein's execution, the issues in Iraq persisted for years afterward. As we come to the end of this video, we hope you found it informative and engaging. The execution of Saddam Hussein was a momentous event that shaped the course of history in Iraq and the Middle East. While some may argue that justice was served, others may disagree, and the controversy surrounding his trial and execution continues to this day. Regardless of your opinion on the matter, it is important to remember that the brutalities committed by Saddam Hussein and his regime cannot be ignored. It is a stark reminder of the consequences of absolute power and the importance of justice and accountability. Thank you for watching, and we hope this video has shed some light on this fascinating and tragic story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And as always, stay curious and keep learning.